Okay, now that we tested the or deployed the Hello World container application, I'm more interested in deploying a Ruby one. I know Ruby really well, so I could probably carry us through this here. Let's take a look at the instructions and what they're suggesting here. So gcloud init. So get your gcloud set up. Imagine we already have it set up and we are saying, okay, let's get access to cloud build. Cloud build would be for building out the image, which is fine. So here they're making a new directory. They're going to deploy a simple Sinatra app. This seems like something that is very doable for us to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to GitHub here, and let's go deploy Sinatra app because I'm really good at Ruby, so this should be super easy for me. So go ahead and say GCP examples, and I got to put examproco in front of that, examproco. And here, what I'm going to do is press, go down here and launch this here. So I already have one set up. We do this earlier in the course. If you don't know how, go do that. Or just copy my dev container out here when you launch it, and then you'll get the same configurations, which will have Terraform installed and the Google Cloud. It's just a file over here, this one here. So if you bring that into your folder, you'll be in good shape here. Or you can just launch this repo too, right? And you'll be in good shape. So sometimes I find that you have to do a rebuild though. So if you type in gcloud and it's not there, you might need to just go up here and do a rebuild up here. But let's get authenticated. So we'll do gcloud auth login. I'm supposed to always say like no browser here or something, no device. This will be the first time I actually wrote it in for quite a while. And so you're authorizing the CLI without an access to web browser. Run the following command on a machine with a web browser, which is fine. Run the following command on a machine with a web browser. What? I don't understand. So I'm going to, I thought that would make more sense. I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Okay, and then I'm just going to right click and open here. And I'm going to authenticate. We'll say continue. And we'll say allow. And yeah, no launch browser. That's what I meant to get, not no browser. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to paste this in. I just right click to paste it in. And so now I'm authenticated. I'm going to add my project ID here, just so my life is a little bit easier. So we'll go over to here. We'll grab our project ID. We'll go back over to here. We'll paste that in. And so now that is set. Okay. We'll give it a moment here. So that is now set. What do we want to do? I was trying to do something earlier here, which was with Terraform. And get rid of this here. Just so that we're not making a mess of stuff. But I'm going to go over to here and we're going to make a new one. This will just be Google Cloud. Or sorry, Cloud Run. And we'll make a new folder in here. This will be Ruby app. And I'm going to cd into that directory. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make that file. So it'll just be main.rb. Could be called server.rb, depends on what they want it to be called. But if we go over here, we'll copy the contents here, like this. And we will go back over to here and paste it in. That's the gem file, so that's not actually right. So I'm going to go here and type in bundle init. I thought I was copying the Ruby code. This is actually the gem code. And so it actually goes into here. And that looks fine. I don't know if that's the latest or oldest, but it should be fine using Sinatra 3.1. And so this was actually the Ruby code. Go ahead and paste that in. So very simple Sinatra app. All it does is print hello world. We'll go over to here and it's telling us to make a directory called hello world. I don't think that really matters. We will need to do a bundle install. So we'll go ahead and do bundle install. Let's make sure our application works. Right, while I'm working on this, let's do readme.md. So we have bundle install. And then we install deps. Start app, probably the way to start the app. There's a few ways we can do it, but the way I'm probably going to do is just bundle exec main.rb or ruby.main.rb, and that should start it up. You have to put bundle exec in front of it so it knows to use those gems in those contexts. And so now it's started on port 8080. It's binding to 000. You need to bind to 000 if you want this to work. If it's not binding to 000, you're not going to see anything here. So I'm opening this up, making sure that it displays. And so our app works. You should check to make sure your apps work before you try to deploy them. Probably a good idea, right? So those steps are there. We're going to need a Docker file. 3.2 is fine. And so we're going to go back over to here. I'm going to make myself a new file called a Docker file. And we're going to go ahead and paste the contents in here. Now, it's going to be very specific about what it wants to bring over. Now, it's installing the user source app directory. I don't know if it matters, but we'll just follow with what it's saying. And it's just copying the app.rb. So it wants this to be an app.rb. So we'll go ahead and rename this to app.rb just to make our lives easier. I want to see if this Docker file works. So in here, I should be able to right click and launch the Docker file. If I can't, here we have a couple of these. We'll go ahead and grab the Docker extension. All right, we could also build it the slow and boring way, but if there's a way that we can just right click and do it, that'd be a lot nicer. So down below here, we have containers, but I want to right click this and build the image. So here we have build image. And here it's calling GCP examples latest to figure out a name. I'm actually gonna call this like hello world. Let's call it Ruby app. Ruby app. Okay, and that's gonna build it. All it's doing here is running like Docker build. So the command is docker build. Docker build -t Ruby latest is all we would have to really write. So I'm gonna go back over to my README here. This could be like build container. That'd be docker build -t Ruby app latest. I don't know if it needs the parentheses around it, but because there's a hyphen in there, maybe it does. So I'm gonna do that just in case. It should pick up the Docker file here. See where they're specifying the file with -f, but if you run it in the current directory, it should build, and it's just going ahead and building this thing, and then we'll try to run it in just a moment. So let that build, okay? All right, so that image should be built now. If we go over to here, we now have that image over here. If we want to, well, we don't want to remove it, but we probably want to go ahead and run it. So the command is gonna be like docker run. I don't, oops, sorry, it's noon. It always rings at noon, but I don't always remember the commands, but we will figure it out here in 2 seconds. It's not hard. So I'm going to cd into the Ruby app directory. 1 second here. The cloud run, Ruby app directory. We'll do docker run -t Ruby app latest. Let's see if that works. No, maybe run. We got to type the word run for it to work. And so we're just making sure that it still works. And now it's on port 8080. We go to our ports and we can see that port 8080 is open. Let's go ahead and open that up to the internet. So I'm going to hold control to right click. And so it's working, and now it's in a container. So not only do you want to make sure your app works, you want to make sure that it works within a container. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time, right? So we're starting to get there. Let's go back over to here, and I'm just going to stop this from running. So we're going to need to place this container somewhere for it to work, right? So if we go back up to here for a moment, here it's suggesting we're going to use enable Cloud Run Admin API and Cloudmin Run Build API. So here it's suggesting for us to enable Cloud Build, and that's not a bad idea. So we'll go ahead and do that. Cloud Build will be used to build our images whenever we make changes, probably from that repo. So I'm going to go and try to find, here it is, try to find this here. And I think we're already authenticated into GCP. So I'm going to go ahead here and just do this. And so this should enable this. We can also just go through the APIs and type it in here and then find it, but we're just going to do it this way. And quick view required rules for Cloud Build service account. So hopefully I don't have to do anything additional. Cloud Build automatically uses the Compute Engine default account. By default, Cloud Build service account to build your source code. Unless you override this behavior for code build to build sources, whatever. So I think it's okay. So we wrote our code here. We didn't make a Docker file. That's not a bad idea. So we'll go ahead and do that. That just tells it what not to include. Let's go back over to here. We need a period in the front of it. We'll grab that contents. We'll dump it in here. We'll go back over to, I'm gonna close this tab, it's driving me crazy. And we'll go to the next step here. So here we have gcloud run deploy source. So the idea is it's gonna pick up the source there. When you're prompted for the service name, enter to accept the default name. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this. If that just works, that'd be awesome. We'll go ahead and we'll make sure we're in the correct directory first. We probably go to another tab. We have so many tabs open here. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Make sure you're in the Ruby app. We'll hit enter. And so the idea is that you pick it up. So it'll have the service name as that. That seems fine to me. And here it's asking us where we want to deploy. I'm in Canada, so I'm going to go with 30, which is Toronto. And here we could set that as our default, but that's fine. Deploying from source requires an artifact to store the container. And do you want to name it this and have it there? Yes. If it does all the work, that's really nice because it's a headache pushing things to the artifact register on GCP. Allow unauthenticated? Yes, please. And so now it's going to go ahead and do the rest of the work for us. So let's see how this goes, okay? All right, so this is now deployed, and it'd be interesting to see if that just works. It does give us a URL right off the bat. I'm going to hold Control to click and open. If that works, yes, there we go. So we've deployed our own Ruby application. Now, something that would be really in production would be something that is hooked up to a database. So, I mean, we're kind of getting there to something really impressive. If I wanted to take this a bit farther, I would probably go ahead and, I would try to add the support for SQL. I'm just going to go click here. I just want to take a look at where that option is. I think it was down here where it says Cloud SQL connection. So here we could add connection. Allow this cloud run revision to connect to specific Cloud SQL instances. That would be a really cool thing to do. Now, what do I want to do with this? I don't know if I want to get rid of this. Let me decide 1 second. The reason I'm thinking about this is just because I might want to connect SQL to this. But maybe we'll leave that alone for some other time. I don't want to overcomplicate things here. So what I'm going to do is go back over to here, and we're just going to tear this down. We'll hit delete. And so that is going to tear that down. But yeah, we were able to deploy that pretty easily. What was the command we ran? It was just that, yeah. Wow. That was easy. So go ahead over to here. We'll update our README. Right, and so now we have that for another time. So Ruby app for gcloud. And if you want, you can delete the artifact out of the artifact registry. You just have to look for it in there, like artifact registry. Maybe registry, they have two. They have the container registry and the artifact registry. I can't remember which one's older or newer. I always forget, but here you can see that is there. So if you want to, you can delete that out there. I'm not going to because I might want to come back to this application, and I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao.